Here's a question nobody really asks out loud. Did the very first humans look up at the sky, see lightning rip through the clouds, think something was up there? Did cave people pray? Did they have gods? Did they build temples before they even had written language? The answer is yes, and it goes back much further than anyone expected. So let's get one thing straight. When we say ancient humans, we're not just talking about Egypt or Greece, we're going back, way back. Think 300, Susan years ago, early Homo sapiens. These people had no cities, no writing, no metal tools. But they had something that made them different from every other animal on the planet. They buried their dead, and they left things with the bodies: food, flowers, tools. You don't leave a dead person flowers unless some part of you believes they're going somewhere. That right there might be the oldest evidence we have of spiritual belief. Before temples, before priests, before religion even had a name, humans were already behaving like something existed beyond this life. But why? Why did belief show up so early? And what did it actually look like? Let's start at the very beginning. Prehistoric religion, no written records, just physical clues left behind in dirt and stone. Around 70,000 to 80,000 years ago in a cave in Botswana, archaeologists found something extraordinary: a giant carved rock shaped like a python, the largest snake in Africa, surrounded by hundreds of spearheads. The points had been burned and deliberately destroyed. This wasn't practical. You don't destroy your own weapons for no reason. This was a ritual. This was an offering. This was worship. The python appears as a sacred symbol in the oral traditions of the San people who still live in southern Africa today. That means this belief system may have survived, in some form, for 70,000 years. Let that number sit with you for a second. Then there's the Lion Man, a 40,000-year-old ivory figurine found in Germany, half human, half lion, carved with incredible precision from a mammoth tusk. It took an estimated 400 hours to carve. Someone 40 Susan years ago spent that much time making something that wasn't food, wasn't shelter, wasn't survival. It was a symbol, a spiritual figure. Maybe the oldest religious sculpture ever found. Prehistoric humans were also painting caves: Lascaux in France, Altamira in Spain, animals, hands, abstract shapes, painted deep inside caves where no natural light reached. You had to carry fire to get there. Why go so far into the dark? Many researchers believe these were sacred spaces, places to connect with something beyond the ordinary world. Now, fast forward a few thousand years. Humans settle down, they build things, and the first thing many of them build isn't a house, it's a temple. Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey is the oldest known monumental structure on Earth, built around 11,600 years ago. That's six zeros in years before Stonehenge. And here's the part that breaks people's brains. There was no city here, no permanent settlement, no evidence of farming. Hunter-gatherers built this massive, complex temple complex before they even figured out agriculture. That flips everything we thought we knew. The old theory was, first humans farmed, then they had free time, then they built temples. Göbekli Tepe says, no, religion came first. The need to gather and worship may have actually driven civilization, not the other way around. The site is covered in carved animals: foxes, vultures, scorpions, lions, enormous stone pillars arranged in circles. Archaeologists still don't fully agree on what happened here, but they agree on one thing. This place matters. It was intentional. It was sacred. And then it was deliberately buried. Around 8,000 years ago, someone filled Göbekli Tepe with rubble and sealed it. On purpose. That's either the most respectful thing ever done to a temple, or the most terrifying. So, what did these early belief systems actually look like? Were there gods, spirits, rules? Most prehistoric and early ancient religion fell into a category we now call animism, the belief that everything, trees, rivers, animals, storms, rocks, has a spirit or a soul. You don't have one god sitting on a throne. You have an entire living world full of forces you need to respect, negotiate with, and sometimes appease. Shamans, spiritual leaders who could supposedly communicate with those forces, show up in cultures across every continent independently of each other. Siberia, Australia, the Americas, Africa, no contact between these groups. Yet they all developed the same idea. Certain humans can cross between the ordinary world and the spirit world. That's not coincidence. That pattern tells us something deep about how the human brain works. We are wired to look for meaning. We see faces in clouds, we find patterns in chaos, we feel like someone is watching. Scientists call this agent detection, the tendency to assume there's a conscious force behind unexplained events. It probably helped us survive. If you assume the rustling bush is a predator, you run. If it was just wind, no problem. If it actually was a predator, you live. Our belief in invisible forces may have literally kept us alive. So here's what all of this actually tells us. Belief isn't a modern invention. It didn't get handed down from one civilization to another. It erupted independently from the human mind itself across every corner of the planet. across hundreds of thousands of years. Ancient humans looked at death, at thunder, at the stars, at a python carved in stone, and they reached for something bigger than themselves. We still do that every single day, in different ways with different names, through different traditions. But the impulse is the same one a person felt 70,000 years ago standing in a cave, holding fire, reaching toward the dark. That's not primitive, that's human. If this made you think differently about where belief actually comes from, hit like and subscribe. Next week, we're going somewhere even older and even stranger, and you genuinely won't see it's coming.